Last week we looked at the sales ledger control account, and I said this week we were going to look at the purchases ledger control account. Okay. Now we have here an overview of it, how it works. Okay. This time it looks just like the diagram that we had for the sales ledger control. The purchases daybook is here. We have three suppliers. This time they are suppliers, not customers. And on this side we have the returns, and in the middle here we have the purchases ledger. With those three persons account that we have in our purchases daybook that we are buying from: Amelia, Betty, and Carol. Okay, so what we gotta look at first is how the systems work. It's similar to in fact, it is the opposite of the sales. For each one of these persons here, we post the amount to the account. So you see, Amelia will get 10, then Betty 20, and Carol 15. We do the same with the returns. We have none to Amelia, but Betty we return 8, and Carol 3. Okay, go to the cash book for when we're paying them. Notice it's on the credit side, so it goes on the debit side of the account. Amelia, we pay her $6. Amelia 6. Betty 10. Betty 10. Carol 9. Carol 9. Okay. Now we have the general ledger, purchases ledger. We have the purchases ledger control account, but it's not part of the double entry. I got an alert there just now. Okay, could people stop fooling around with the chat, please? Right, so the totals would go to the purchases ledger control account. All right, so we take the total 45 purchases. This time it comes on the credit side because we are owing that amount, and the total 11 comes on the credit side. This is the returns, and the cash book 25. Okay, and there's one other item that does not show up in this example, and that's the discounts received. It should be on the side. In this case, we don't have any discount received. So when we make a list of all the people we are owing, and we take the 4 and the 2 and the 3 from these accounts, we'll get 4 and 2, 6 and 3, 9. It should equal the balance here. Okay, right, so that is how you will look at this diagram. I'll put up the presentation in the classroom, and you have to go and take a good study of it. All right, now where do we get the sources of information for the purchases ledger control? The opening accounts payable comes from the creditor balances from the period before, right? The previous period. The credit purchases, the total from the purchases day book or the purchases journal. We just saw that. Return outwards, the total from the return outwards day book or the return outwards journal. Checks paid, these payments, you could add these two together and make one entry, or you can keep them separate. Cash book, the bank column, and if you're keeping them separate, you would also have one for cash book, right? Right, a list is extracted from the cash book column for all the checks that you paid to your creditors. Similarly, it is done for the cash as well. Discount received. All right, we know the discount received column in the cash book is on the credit side. We just total it and we put it in the control account. Okay. A work example. This one does not have as much variations as the sales, because we don't have things like bad debts and returned and refunds and things like that. The 4 items that we showed last time, they do not show up in here. So all we have is the credit purchases, the payments, the discounts, and the total purchases returns. Okay, so we are given some transactions here and the source of the information and the amount. Okay, now when you are working a question in an exam, they will not give you this information here. You have to know this here, so you have to memorize these here. Okay, the total payables for May, the opening balance, so the 1st of May, so we know that's the opening balance. It comes from the control account for the previous month, and that is 23,000. Okay, we put it in here. The total credit purchases from the purchases book, 61,000. This will increase the amount that we are owing, so we have it on the same side. Okay, notice the date is a total for the month, so the date would be the last day of the month. There's an opening balance, so it would be on the 1st day of the month. Okay. Next, we go to the total payments. What has happened here is what I was telling you just a short while ago. They have added the cash and the checks together, right, and get 57,000. So we put in 57,000. And notice it is a total for the month. So again, the date will be the last day of the month. The total discounts received, again, it comes from the cash book. And 2,000. And we have it here, 2,000. It's a total for the month again. So we will have the date as the 31st. Total purchases returns from the return outward book, 5,000. And we put in the 5,000 here. Okay, so on this side of the account, if you notice, the only thing that we have is the opening balances and the purchases itself. Okay, and on this side, the other three items go. All right, then we balance the account and we will get this balance here. 20,000, right? We'll add here first, get 84,000. When we add this side, we'll get 57 and 259 and 564. Right? We take the 84 from here minus the 64 from here. Total of these three. And we get the 20 here. This again, it's at the end of the month. We carry down the balance. First day of the next month, June 1st, we bring down the balance. This is a complete control account for purchases, and it comes regularly in your exam. So you do well to study it. You can make 10 marks quite easily on a account like this, just for writing up nothing there. Remember, it's the opposite. The figures, the amounts are on the opposite side compared to the sales ledger control that we did last week. Okay? Right? From here, you can tell where you get all the information from. And you can easily write up an account like this. It does not take any big deal. Right? Now, how you're going to know these things? At first, you're going to have to memorize them. What comes on the credit side and what goes on the debit side. After you work a few problems, you're going to get them correct. Okay, but first you're not getting them. It's because you need to work some more problems and you need to memorize the side that they go on. Right, I have here a practice question for you. Notice it has the same amount of balances and figures. You should work it first, and then you go to on the next page, you would see the answer on the next slide, that is. Okay, I've already put it up in the classroom. It becomes available at about 11:10, 11:30 perhaps. You will get it online.